Jackie, we just found out that he has cool sound effects and changes my voice from like a robot to like, I don't know, all sorts of crazy
shit, man. Oh, there we go. And for some reason, I have to talk like this.
She's like,
oh, that's odd. That's odd.
Can you hear that?
Weird delay. Yeah, look at this.
Oh my gosh. Hey, girlfriend.
Hi, honey.
Oh, I should do an intro. Hey guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Inspired by Miss Amber Red. Today we have something a little different. We got Miss Jackie here. If you guys don't know Jackie, I want to actually introduce you to her real quick. Let her give us a little background information on, who she is, where she's from, what she does, all those fun things. So Jackie, you're up, girl.
I am a permanent makeup artist in San Diego. I'm one of Amber's many students. She was my fifth trainer in 2018, the fifth certificate in 2018, or I don't know when it was definitely 17 or 18. I can't remember.
I'm like, oh my God, that was so long ago.
I know. But no, I found you on Instagram, mostly because I wanted to get that eyeliner myself. But I also was starting doing tattooing on brows. Background on me, I am a esthetician, and I've been an esthetician since 2002. So I just celebrated my 21st year in business. I've been an independent contractor, meaning I work for myself renting a room for 18 of those years. I've been at one particular location for 16 now. So I specialize in brows, and I have specialized in brows for a full 18 years. So I really do brow waxes, bikini waxes, and now at about 2017, I decided to add microblading to my services. As you know, just an add-on. That was a joke, so we'll get into that in a minute. And yeah, if you're not going to take a full stance into permanent makeup, then don't bother, because it's not the right way.
Right, because there's so much that's like involved in it, right?
It's so much more than you think it is. And even I was duped by, the marketing BS that was happening in 2016 and 17 when we all started. It was really the truth of the matter is, this is a very serious thing that you're doing. You're tattooing someone's face. So if you are going to take it seriously, take it seriously. That's the bottom line. So I, after a long time of specializing in eyebrows, there was that point in my career that, I couldn't really do anything if you didn't have hair. So the next step for me was tattooing. And so I started looking around, and my first course was a mistake. We'll just go with that. Microblading course that, of course, told you that they were going to do it all, and that didn't happen. So I immediately started doing better research. I found Taryn, and through Taryn, I found you. Started talking to you, and knew I wanted to get the eyeliner done. And I remember having that conversation with you of like, I want this so bad. How do I get this? And can you train me? And you're like, well, I don't do training and tattooing on your face at the same time. So yeah, it's got to be two separate things. So yeah, I came out to Vegas for the training, and I stayed an extra day and got my eyeliner tattooed. And since then, I never took it as seriously as I did until I really got into that training. And at that point, I met better people. I was introduced to a whole different world of eyebrow obsession that just like, when you find your people, you find your people. So it was that moment too.
We literally talk about that all the time, like on the podcast. We're like, oh my God, like you can feel it like immediately. Like if you belong, it's like you just belong, but you know what I mean? Like you just feel the vibe from people. You know if you belong together.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. But yeah, it was pretty immediate. Like, you taught the right way, you supported the right way. That was something that I hadn't experienced. So that was really refreshing.
And we still talk to this day about tech. I mean, you still message from time to time and
talk all the time.
Ask about things. And I'm like, it's that vibe that like, I think the industry like needs. Like we need that support. I was just talking to the girls actually, and I was like, anybody that's ever taken a class, like what would be wrong with just offering those artists to come back and just take a shadow day? a
Well,
shadow
a
day,
lot
just be in the studio for free. Like you're paying your way to get here, obviously, but just paying, to come just shadow just to make sure that, what you learned, like, just a refresher down the line or like whatever it is, just open up that to be like a community. I think that'd be a really awesome thing. And I don't think
of
it's something that's
a lot of time
offered.
I've noticed in training too that shadow day is such a good idea. But like when in training, if you learn something and you see it done that day, your brain might flip it. It's like you might need to see it again up close in person to really get it to hammer in sometimes. I'm still on that with lips. I don't even want to get into that, but
Well, there you go. There comes a shadow day. Jackie, hit me up if you want to come just
shadow
watch some lips.
day.
You mentioned a couple things. So I was actually like, as you were talking, I was like, okay, check, check, check. Let's talk about those things. So you mentioned early on when you first got into permanent makeup, like the marketing. So what did you mean by that? So like your first class, you're kind of bummed. I think that's something that everybody can relate to. And they're like, what the heck? Like, how do I find the right class? And then how do I, not feel like afterwards that like they just took my money and they're not there for me? Like, what do you mean by
Right.
marketing of that class? Like early on, you're like, okay, I'm new. I didn't really know like what direction to go. I was trying my best. I looked at, they promised me that, I was going to get this, this, and this, and I was going to make $100,000 a year right off the bat. Like,
Well,
what does that look
marketing
like?
start by one specific word, semi-permanent. Like, do we want to talk in detail about what semi-permanent tattooing is? It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily semi-permanent. When you get something tattooed on your skin, you will always, as an esthetician, I've seen skin for 20 years up close. And if you cut open your skin, you're going to have a scar there. Is that considered not permanent? That's permanent to me.
Right.
So I not like the semi-permanent. Of course, I was a little skeptical, but I thought that maybe everybody's doing it. If there's something, got to be something behind it. No, no, it's not semi-permanent. It just fades, but you're left with
Something.
things that are permanently there. Yeah.
Right.
Something, a maintenance of some kind. So it's the marketing of it, of being carefree and you just got to do it. Da, 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 da. It's super easy. It's a little more in depth than that.
What's weird to
It's a-
me, actually, that you say that, it's weird to me that, excuse me, I'm extra snotty today. I apologize. What is weird to me is that, like, I feel like when clients come in, they automatically relate it to a tattoo and they think it's going to last forever. With new artists in the industry coming in, you get the opposite of that, and they're trained to think it's semi-permanent. So it's like we're battling, especially as a trainer, you battle both sides. You're like, okay, I'm taking clients and they think it's going to be like a body tattoo and it's going to last forever. But then I'm taking on, students that are just, because I specialize, I feel like in newbies, so it just kind of threw me in there. But they are initially trained, to think that, hey, this is semi-permanent. It's going to fade. Anything I do is going to be gone. And it's like, whoa, it's like literally two different places there.
And I've definitely had those experiences where I think it's not going to stay and oh, it stayed. And
Yep.
you do all the work of it's going to stay like crazy and it goes away. Like with tattooing, it is so much more in depth. It is not a weekend class. It is years of training. It's a fully encompassed, you have to put all of your effort into it. And after my first class and within the first month of doing microblading, illegally or unlicensed or whatever, because my first class was not registered with the health department. It was a scam. The person who trained me had been doing it for 8 months, and that was rampant in 2017.
Right.
It was so because marketing had made it super easy to drop $3,000 and with the promise that you are going to, be a millionaire at the end of the year with all these clients lining up for you to cut their face open after learning about it for a weekend.
Right.
And that was they marketed it so well that everyone believed it. And we're still getting the ramifications of it by having to manage everyone's expectations.
Right. And I think too,
yeah.
like they don't tell you all the other things that go into it, right? It's like at the end of the day, it's like, are you just done tattooing? You go home? No, like you're sitting there and like if you're a business owner, okay, well now we have the studio stuff that we have to take care of. Now we got to sit down and make reels. We got to do social media. Now it's like balance a team.
What about all those clients that they promised you? How are you going to get them to walk in the door?
Right.
Have you even talked about any kind of business, planning, have you thought about how you're going to pay your rent every day? You know,
Right.
how you going to buy your products? How are you going to start a business? How do you do this?
Yeah, right.
No one tells you.
Right.
So,
I agree with you 100%.
mhm. So
So
that was,
how
yeah,
do how was that journey? You started with that class that you're like, oh shit, like I just spent all this money, and then I'm
yeah.
in a new world. Did you have a clientele that you
I
like?
had a huge clientele. I was super, super lucky because I had been specializing in eyebrows, waxing eyebrows,
Yeah.
tinting eyebrows, all the brows in East County of San Diego.
So thankfully, you
Um,
had people that were like,
I had people lining up. So I didn't necessarily have to do anything in the beginning, but I also was definitely aware enough that I needed to do it correctly because of this reputation that I
right.
had,
Hmm.
because I started my business as an esthetician with business help. So coming into permanent makeup, I did see it differently because I had built my business as an esthetician and I knew that this needed to look the permanent makeup world needed to look a certain way for it to be successful. And that had to do with business. You got to plan on how you're going to get your clients in, how are you going to take care of them. And when you take something on like tattooing their face, you have a lot more care that you need to give. You have a lot more presence that you need to be there for.
Right.
Yeah. So that wasn't something that they necessarily tell you. They marketed it to be so easy that you could just do it off one weekend. It's easy.
You're just ready to go after you take this 2-day class. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can relate to that in a sense, like more so like the business side of things, like is the forefront for me is like, okay, so I did a little bit different route. I did a 5-year apprenticeship and then, I saw the business side of things and I saw the struggles and I saw this, but it's a completely different thing. Like over the years, things have changed. So,
Yeah.
I had a roadmap, but along the way, you have to change things. Like what was working back 5 years ago is not working how it is, today. I have things completely different now, like moving forward. And it's almost like it's an everyday changing, I don't want to say struggle, but it's like an everyday
It feels
changing
like it.
thing that you feel like it's like, God, okay, that worked, that worked last year, but it's not working this year. And it's like, I think that business mindset that, like, I think that's important to like dive even deeper into because I feel like people that is not talked about. Cause I'm like, and I had a well drawn out roadmap that worked,
Right.
in 2015, but like from 2015 to 2023, yeah, 23 is completely
Yeah.
different.
I mean, just even looking at what happened in 2020 and the way that people are running their businesses now, it is so different before the pandemic and after the pandemic. So I don't know. The basic thought behind business. Honestly, I'm really lucky that I work at the salon that I work at because the owner actually her second business besides owning a salon
Oh my gosh.
is yeah, she is a business strategist.
Oh,
So she is a beauty business coach. Her name is Lexi Lomax. She actually has a 10-minute beauty podcast.
oh, that's awesome.
Uh, yeah, she's gives out free information all the time. Her Instagram's loaded with behind the chair information. So granted, I'm an esthetician, so I was really kind of like excluded because I was behind a closed door and I wasn't all the things that she was, building her business on had to do with hair, but it had a business base. So with just strategy, planning, ebb and flow of how the market's going, and what are you going to do about this? So okay, you're having a problem. How do we problem solve for that? How do we plan for products and
So
just all
pause.
kinds of.
So you're so okay. So she does have that business mindset, on the back end. So for you, like, so is she doing that for the entire like salon or studio that you guys are all located within? Like, she's kind of taking those ideas and translating them into it. Are you guys all doing your own separate thing? And
We're all independent. Yeah, we're independent solo practitioners. So we run our
okay,
business out of her salon. But we have this opportunity that she has this second business of beauty business and business practices that she does run. So through the years, like I said, I've been there for 16 years. So with her, she bought that place when she was 19 years old. She's like you.
oh,
Stop. Like she's one of those people that just It's always on her head. She doesn't stop. She's always like, okay, what's the next plan? Okay, wakes up motivated, talking
Yep.
about, what her plans are for the next, but it all comes with planning, consistency,
Yep.
and just kind of like rolling with the punches. And I've watched her build her business for 16 years. I've watched her build her both of them, the salon business with me in it. It's kind of like the beta. She learned
Yeah.
and and learned a lot with us and built this coaching business that is extremely successful. She goes around, the US and it's all hair. So yay. I mean, it's still beauty, but it
Right.
translates to what we're doing because we are
Absolutely. All the
solo
time I
practice.
look outside of the like permanent makeup world, like for all inspiration, it's not within the permanent makeup world. I give a shit less what everybody else around me
It's
in the
a
permanent makeup world is
business.
doing. What are they doing
Yeah.
outside? What are they like? What cool idea can I take from there and pull it into here? Like, so I don't really look because I feel like within our industry, everybody's kind of like reusing and redoing, like it's all the same shit just redone. So I
Oh,
look outside for, inspiration. But so over the years, are there like three things that you think that have been really cool that you've seen her do that like stood out to you? Or even because I know like the industry, let's like be more relatable. Like within the industry, everybody, they're saying like it's slower, it's this, it's all the like the economy like being lower, like everybody's talking about it. I prefer not to talk about it being low. I just pretend like that shit doesn't exist and just keep on pushing. That's my thought on things.
yeah,
But everybody else is like, oh, it's slow, I'm not getting clients. I'm sorry, you guys, but I get it. But like the more you focus on negative, the more you're going to get negative. So stop focusing on
yeah,
that and figure out what you can do to make it different, or what you can do to stand out, or what you can do like to connect with people more. Like that's your problem. So because there
yeah,
are people that are still fully booked, but in that case, like because I feel like that's a really good mentor for you to have, like kind of in the back, not necessarily, I don't
big
want to say
time.
she's in the background, but you know what I mean. Like is there something that you've seen that's like been impactful for you within your business, even though that you guys are all
Yes.
independent?
Absolutely. Actually, specifically, she has, it's like she runs her whole business, her whole life by something she calls the Dream 10. And I don't even think it's like perfectly set to like 10 something, but it's basically that you build your business around the life you want. You don't build your life around your business. You
Oh,
build your business around the life you want. So for me, in this season that I'm in right now, my daughter's 8, turning 9 next week, and I take Wednesdays and Saturdays off, and I work all day Tuesday, all day Thursday,
yeah.
and I have Monday, Friday that it's just kind of a half day. But I'm there for her. We go to piano. I'm able to pick her up. We have family days on Saturdays, and I'm able to actually have quality time with my husband, who has a corporate job that I never see him, and he's always stressed out and pissing me off. So it's
And cooking some
you,
good meat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but this season in my life, I can build my business around what is more important for me. And yes, obviously that business, that's my first baby. That will always be my first love. And I have so much into that, but my daughter needs me right now, and my
Right.
husband needs a little extra support because of, the stress of his job. And I'm able to give him that, number one, because of the freedom of this industry and the fact that I'm not tied to um, my job being what runs my life.
Yeah.
I run my life. My
Yeah.
job doesn't run my life.
Yeah.
So I put what makes me happy into my life. I do what makes me happy. And I remember, um, I think it was like 2017, no, 16. I remember having a conversation with Lexi, and just going, I just want to be a brow expert. I'm tired of doing all the other shit. I don't
Yeah.
want to do facials. I don't want to do I'm really good at brows, and I'm proud of my brows.
And that's
I want
okay.
Yes. And within 5 years, I'm a permanent makeup brow specialist
Mhm.
on all levels. So, yeah.
So Jackie, you like dabble? We say a little more than dabble, like just like
Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
signs and
Well, I was
like
just about to get into
astrology and
that.
like this, that, and the other. I'm like, so having that mindset, what do you think that does for your business? So you just having that mindset alone, because I'm a big believer in that. So you're like, you told yourself, you're like, I want to be a brow artist. I want to do this. I want to do that. Just you putting your mindset into that. What do you think that
Yep.
did?
Oh, it brought it to
It just put it
me.
right over and yeah, yeah.
It was me not even realizing that I manifested everything that I needed in my life.
Hmm.
It was, I mean, same way that 2 months before I met my husband, I wrote down what I wanted in a man.
I
And guess
literally
what?
did that same exact
Showed
thing
up.
when I was
Oh my
cocktailing at
God, I
4 in
just
the
had one of my
morning.
receptionists. I just had one of my receptionists do it. And off topic, but on topic. In 2024, every year Lexi does her goal. 24. Last year was 23 goals for 2023.
Yep.
This year, 24 goals for
Yep.
2024. Everyone should do that. But I was talking with the receptionist, and I had her do that. I'm like, write down what you want. She got
Yes.
4 pages out.
Yep.
And then she goes, I don't know if you can get 24 da 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 about your business,
Like
but
quiz.
you can get 4 pages on a man, but not 24 wants for your
Oh,
business. I don't think so.
mine was down to the detail. I was like, okay,
Me too.
snowboarding. We need to go
Yep.
snowboarding. You have to have tan skin. You have to, like, I was like, bam, bam, bam. This is what we're getting. This is what's happening. And if it's not happening, I don't
On
want
the
it.
show.
Literally everything. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. You're a little too nice, but we'll let
It
that
works.
slide.
It works. And it's not like, you got to pray to a specific thing. It's you whatever you believe in. If you believe it's meant for you, then it's going to come. And I believed that I was good enough and I was meant for being something like that, a specialist, a brow, people
Yeah.
come to me specifically for that. Okay, I can make this happen for you.
Yep.
It made me feel good. It made me feel wanted and special.
Hmm.
And then I just kept going. And that was the business aspect of it. If you've always got this thing of you're ebbing and flowing with what is coming in your door, your business is going to go where it needs to be. So if you're intuitively doing business, you're going to intuitively enjoy it. I don't know.
It's exactly right. And it's also like, I think people's, struggle with finding like ideal clientele, struggle with, so all of that it's exactly what you're talking about. It's, you know,
Yeah.
I want this person to treat me this way. It's relationships. It's everything. It's like if you're allowing somebody to treat you a certain way, of course they're going to treat you that way. If you are saying these are my expectations, these are how you're going to treat me, and otherwise you're not going to be in my life, you're not going to be my client, you're not going to be. It all translates, and then it's not going to. Those people aren't going
But
to.
those boundaries come with the
Oh,
fact that you have to be okay with yourself and not
100%.
people please and know exactly who you are.
Yeah. It took me a long
Yeah.
time to get there. That's was something I used to have a hard time controlling, like my room, I guess I would say. Even up until last year, Sasha probably
Yeah.
wanted to kill me because I'm like, I still had people on my client list that would give me anxiety. I would see their name and I would see them for 2 weeks out. I would see their name on my list and they coming up for an appointment. I'm like, oh my God. I can't. This person, I can't. Like, I literally can't physically. Don't book anybody else after them. I'm going to be so stressed out. Like, I can't. And it's like, I think people are like, oh, Amber doesn't deal with that shit. No, I do. Like, and not anymore. I don't because last year, literally in the entire year, I was like, all right, Sasha, let's look at all the appointments. We're looking at all the appointments. Anybody on the appointment list coming up, they're getting scratched off. They're not my client. They're not allowed in the studio. If they are stressing me out, cross them off the list. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know how many bad reviews we've got from that too? Like, which is
Well,
sad, but it's like, that's exactly why you're not my clients.
the funny thing is I won't even let those bitches in the door. So you brought them
Up
in.
until
You
last
said
year. Well, I let those people, I didn't set
they
boundaries. I
followed
let
you. It
those
was when you didn't have
people
your thing.
treat me
Yeah.
that way. I let them treat me that way. They were used to being able to be like, this spot is here, that there, this,
Yep.
that. And I'm like, now you're stressing me out. You're not going to get pretty eyebrows because you're stressing me out. You need to let an artist be an artist. I fully believe that. And if you don't, you're going to get shit ass work. Like, stop having control over it's like going to a body tattoo artist. Am I going to tell you how to do a realism tattoo?
Right.
I don't know shit about
No.
that. I don't know what that's going to look like. Are you kidding me? No, I would never. So, like, why do people feel like it's okay to come into the studio and be like, like, no, you're not getting hair
That's
strokes. You have oily
yeah.
skin. I'm not going to do hair strokes on oily skin because it's going to heal like shit. And I don't want that shit on your face with my name on it. Right. Like, so it's like setting those boundaries. It's just like,
That was
oh,
my sister's a hairdresser. We had this conversation when she was in hair school, and it was like, "Oh, you don't like her? Why don't you just, mess up her hair?" Or, da da da. Da. I'm like, but then I have a bad reputation from that. That girl's walking around like, "Oh my God, what? Oh, so and so did my hair."
right.
I saw that in hair school, and I went, "I'm
Nope.
not going to live my life that way."
Nope.
And it's actually recently crossed over into another part of my life, burlesque. But if you talk shit about me, or my the way that I treat people is always consistent. But so if you talk shit about me, everyone's going to know you're lying.
Literally.
So, and same thing with you. It's like if somebody is upset with, oh, Amber didn't do the brows that I wanted. Well, did you get brows that you maybe couldn't have?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I got to pause
Okay.
you real quick because I remember, what was it? Maybe 2 or 3 years ago? I remember you and your community came and had my back. Do you remember when that girl, I don't even know who it was because she had a fake account, but you remember when that girl came on social media and she literally like started leaving bad review. It was like one after another. You and your girls, I don't know who they even are. I'm like, came and all of a sudden, I was like,
all those fire signs.
I got like one bad review. All of a sudden I got like 75 good ones. And I was like, oh shit, son. I was like, you just handled it. That was you and your crowd. I'm like,
when you treat people good, they'll have your back. And like when you're consistent in business, they'll trust you. If you're consistent as a friend, they'll trust you. If you're consistent, treating people well, you're going to be treated well. So it's consistency, man. That's
like something that I live by. I'm like, people know.
You came back to
100. I'm like, I feel like people like, it's like, you know that person's soul. It's like, that person. So somebody says something, somebody comes to me and like, they haven't, but like say somebody came to me and like said something about Jackie, this, that. I'm like, nah. I'm like, you're wrong. I'm like, I've known that girl. I'm like, you can say whatever you want, but I'm going to stop you real quick. And first off, you're not talking shit in the same room with me because I'm going to be like, hold up. But
you don't talk shit around Sagittarius.
yeah. Sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble. I think I'm muted, but I'm not. But yeah, no, I just like people know your soul and they know different. Like, so because I hate focusing on like bad reviews, negative shit. Yeah. Like, it's like, so what? Let that person say something. It's like, people know who you are. Like at this point, I'm like, I've been in the industry for so long. I'm like, you're going to go leave a bad review about one of my artists because you had a light spot in your eyebrow. Like old school kick rocks. Like you don't need to come back in the studio. You don't need to be in here. Like we don't need the extra stress because we know we care so darn much about what we do. We're so particular about what we're putting on your face. You can't care more than what we care.
Than we do. No, totally.
Period.
And like if you've got a problem, it's all about your approach too.
100%.
Trust me, because this is what I specialize in.
100%.
You got a light spot in your eyebrow and you come at me all mad.
Do you think I want you walking around with a light spot in your eyebrow? No, like you're going to go show everybody that light spot. I have anxiety or just thinking about it. Like, I know you're going to go show, look at this little lights. They're good, but look at this light spot. Okay, no, that gives me anxiety. Like, we don't want that shit walking around. Like, but approach nicely. Like, tattoo. Yeah, tattoo is a tattoo. Like, anyways. Oh, I'm like, we were supposed to talk way more about business, Jackie, but we are just talking. I think we're going to have to like just bring you back on and like talk about, because we want to.
I actually told Nick, I was like, we should go to Vegas.
Oh, in person?
Like, oh my God, my brows are so light.
Do you have makeup on your eyebrows right now?
Do I? Oh, no.
You have no makeup on your. You have no makeup on your eyebrows right now. You got to be freaking kidding me.
So January of 2021 is when I came in the height of the pandemic, and I got my eyes and my eyeliner. My eyeliner. Oh my God.
So you have no makeup on your stuff right now, girl.
I have makeup on my liner, and I have lashes on and then some faded lipstick.
You look freaking phenomenal. Holy shit. Like phenomenal. Well, I think we probably are running out of time. But I am going to schedule, I think we should bring you back for like, let's talk like all things like, I don't know, like vibes, zodiac, like astrology.
I need to come to Vegas to see Dita. Dita is at the Jubilee.
I know she is.
She has her show.
I know.
If you haven't seen Dita, you need to go see Dita.
I think I might be going. So if I go, I'll take pictures and send them to you. I'm so excited. But anyways, yeah, if I go, I'll take lots of pictures. I'm going to dress up super cute. I clean up nice, whatever.
I do.
But yeah, well, let's schedule a time. We'll get you back on. Let's talk. Let's dive deep. And because I got so many more questions about like that business, like that mentor that you have on the backside. I want to know all the things that you learned from 10 years ago till now. Like we'll schedule some time, maybe coming up like a little later on, like January, February, and get you back on here and let's talk about some more topics. Because I feel like we just scratched the surface. We're like,
Oh my God.
and maybe we'll do like a part 1, part 2. Because I'm like, I feel like you and I could talk for like ever. So
Part 16.
yeah, part 16. All right, girl. Well, we're going to hop off here. You guys make sure to like, subscribe, share, and give Jackie a follow. I will drop her tag in the comments below. This girl is full of information. She's phenomenal. Her and I have been girlfriends for such a long time. And if I trust her to, like, you know, then that means a lot. So, because I don't trust a lot of people. But anyways, yeah. Jackie, thank you for joining us. And we will talk soon.
All right.
Bye, girlfriend.
Bye, girls. Bye, girls in the background. I know you're all there.
They're watching in the other room.
I know.
All right, girl. Bye.
Bye.